Is your love a sweet deception you're completely unaware of? Don't miss this video if you want to discover the 7 types of love you might be missing out on. Types that can bring far more fulfillment and healing than you ever imagined. Watch till the end to find your true love, and don't forget to check the comments for more videos on this topic. Alright, let's dive in. Most of us crave romantic love, but few realize that far from being timeless and universal, romantic love is a modern construct that emerged hand in hand with the novel. You've probably immersed yourselves in tragic love stories from novels, where damsels in distress fall for valiant knights, followed by partings, tears, and moonlit kisses. Gustave Flaubert, in his famous work Madame Bovary, 1856, tells us that Emma Bovary only learned about romantic love through the refuse of old lending libraries. This shows that the romantic love ideal we often imagine is largely shaped by fictional tales. But did you know there are countless other ways to love out there? By fixating on romantic love, we risk neglecting other types of love that are more stable or readily available, and which may, especially in the long run, prove more healing and fulfilling. The ancient Greeks had many words for love, allowing them to distinguish more clearly between different types. I'm going to guide you through these 7 types of love, loosely based on classical readings, especially from Plato and Aristotle, and J.A. Lee's 1973 book, Colors of Love. 1. Eros. Eros is sexual or passionate love, and most akin to the modern construct of romantic love. In Greek myth, it's a form of madness brought about by one of Cupid's arrows. The arrow breaches us and we fall in love, as Paris did with Helen, leading to the downfall of Troy and much of the assembled Greek army. In modern times, Eros has been amalgamated with the broader life force, something akin to Schopenhauer's will, a fundamentally blind process of striving for survival and reproduction. Eros has also been contrasted with logos, or reason, and Cupid is often painted as a blindfolded child. Have you ever felt yourself being swept into a relationship in a completely irrational way, as if some force was just pushing you along? 2. Philia. The hallmark of philia, or friendship, is shared goodwill. Aristotle believed that a person can bear goodwill to another for one of 3 reasons: that they are useful, that they are pleasant, and above all, that they are good, that is, rational and virtuous. Friendships founded on goodness are associated not only with mutual benefit, but also with companionship, dependability, and trust. For Plato, the best kind of friendship is that which lovers have for each other. It's a philia born out of Eros, and that in turn feeds back into Eros to strengthen and develop it, transforming it from a lust for possession into a shared desire for a higher level of understanding of the self, the other, and the world. In short, philia transforms Eros from a lust for possession into an impulse for philosophy. Real friends seek together to live truer, fuller lives by relating to each other authentically and teaching each other about the limitations of their beliefs and the defects in their character, which are a far greater source of error than mere rational confusion. They are, in effect, each other's therapist. And in that much it helps to find a friend with some degree of openness, articulacy, and insight, both to change and to be changed. I have a close friend, Sarah, and we've navigated so many challenges together, from school and work to even personal crises. She's always been the person I can trust with my deepest thoughts, and I know she feels the same way about me. That's philia. 3. Storge, storge, or familial love, is a kind of philia pertaining to the love between parents and their children. It differs from most philia in that it tends, especially with younger children, to be unilateral or asymmetrical. More broadly, storge is the fondness born out of familiarity or dependency. Compared to Eros and philia, it is much less contingent on our personal qualities. People in the early stages of a romantic relationship often expect unconditional storge, but find only the need and dependency of Eros and, if they are lucky, the maturity and fertility of philia. Given enough time, Eros tends to mutate into Storge. Do you ever notice that after a while in a relationship, the initial passionate feelings slowly give way to a deeper, warmer bond, almost like family? 4. Agape. Agape is universal love, such as the love for strangers, nature, or God. Unlike Storge, it does not depend on filiation or familiarity. Also called charity by Christian thinkers, agape can be said to encompass the modern concept of altruism, as defined as unselfish concern for the welfare of others. Recent studies link altruism with a number of benefits. In the short term, an altruistic act leaves us with a euphoric feeling, the so-called helper's high. In the longer term, altruism has been associated with better mental and physical health and even greater longevity. At a social level, altruism serves as a signal of cooperative intentions and also of resource availability and so of mating or partnering potential. It also opens up a debt account, encouraging beneficiaries to reciprocate with gifts and favors that may be of much greater value to us than those with which we felt able to part. More generally, altruism, or agape, helps to build and maintain the psychological, social, and, indeed, environmental fabric that shields, sustains, and enriches us. Given the increasing anger and division in our society and the state of our planet, we could all use quite a bit more agape. Sometimes, just a small act like yielding the road to someone else, helping an elderly person cross the street, or simply smiling at a stranger can bring you a sense of peace, right? 5. Ludus. Ludus is playful or uncommitted love. It can involve activities such as teasing and dancing, or more overt flirting, seducing, and conjugating. The focus is on fun, and sometimes also on conquest, with no strings attached. Ludus relationships are casual, undemanding, and uncomplicated, but for all that, can be very long-lasting. Ludus works best when both parties are mature and self-sufficient. Problems arise when one party mistakes Ludus for Eros, whereas Ludus is, in fact, much more compatible with Philia. Have you ever considered that when you and a friend of the opposite sex can comfortably tease and joke with each other without any further intentions, that's Ludus? 6. Pragma. Pragma is a kind of practical love founded on reason or duty and one's longer-term interests. Sexual attraction takes a back seat in favor of personal qualities and compatibilities, shared goals, and making it work. In the days of arranged marriages, pragma must have been very common. Although unfashionable and at a polar opposite of romantic love, it remains widespread, most visibly in certain high-profile celebrity and political pairings. Many relationships that start off as Eros or Ludus end up as various combinations of Storge and Pragma. Pragma may seem opposed to Ludus, but the two can coexist, with one providing a counterpoint to the other. In the best of cases, the partners in the Pragma relationship agree to turn a blind eye, or even a sympathetic eye, as with Simone de Beauvoir and Jean-Paul Sartre, or Vida Sackville-West and Harold Nicholson. This might sound a bit dry, but isn't stability and longevity ultimately what matters most in a relationship? 7. Philautia. Philautia, finally, is self-love, which can be healthy or unhealthy. Unhealthy self-love is akin to hubris. In ancient Greece, people could be accused of hubris if they placed themselves above the gods, or, like certain modern politicians, above the greater good. Many believed that hubris led to destruction, or nemesis. Today, hubris has come to mean an inflated sense of one's status, abilities, or accomplishments, especially when accompanied by haughtiness or arrogance. Because it does not accord with the truth, hubris promotes injustice, conflict, and enmity. Healthy self-love, on the other hand, is akin to self-esteem, which is our cognitive and, above all, emotional appraisal of our own worth. More than that, it is the matrix through which we think, feel, and act, and reflects on our relation to ourselves, to others, and to the world. In everyday language, self-esteem and self-confidence tend to be used interchangeably. However, self-esteem and self-confidence do not always go hand in hand. In particular, it is possible to be highly self-confident and yet to have profoundly low self-esteem, as is the case, for example, with many performers and celebrities. Do you see how many celebrities, despite their immense success, still struggle with mental health issues? People with healthy self-esteem do not need to prop themselves up with externals such as income, status, or notoriety, or lean on crutches such as alcohol, drugs, or sex. They are able to invest themselves completely in projects and people because they do not fear failure or rejection. Of course, they suffer hurt and disappointment, but their setbacks neither damage nor diminish them. Owing to their resilience, they are open to growth experiences and relationships, tolerant of risk, quick to joy and delight, and accepting and forgiving of themselves and others. After all, isn't loving yourself correctly the key to all other kinds of love? So we've explored 7 different types of love. Clearly, there's a kind of porosity between these 7 types of love. They keep seeping and passing into one another. For Plato, love aims at beautiful and good things because the possession of beautiful and good things is called happiness, and happiness is an end in itself. Of all good and beautiful things, the best, most beautiful, and most dependable is truth or wisdom, which is why Plato called love not a god, but a philosopher. This channel is all about love psychology, helping you understand how to love the right way and live authentically. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned for our next videos. To love correctly is to embrace all 7 types, not just one.